Hey cyber people, it's me, still alive. Only one working wheel, but I'm alive. So I am going to talk to you about Project 234, which the submission doc looks like this. If you look at our scale here, if you're looking at cohort A, cohort B will just be delayed a few days. Should have started on that on the first day, and I have this video the second day. So you got the training part, which is 1 through 12. I'll go over that a little bit if you had trouble. Hopefully you watched my hello video. Then each day, all you got to do is one exploit, which is not asking a lot. I think this is really supposed to be 3 days, but I thought it fit better to 4. That way you can do a good job, get it turned in on time, make sure you look at the rubric, and submit it. So let me take a look at this. If you look at it, the training, you're going to start, taking pictures and stuff like that. And basically what's weird about this lab is you're going to spin up right away, and then you're going to make some exploits and then find what they look like in a Wireshark packet. And that's going to be your training, because after you do that, which is all this training stuff, here's one of the exploits you make, and then you're going to find it in Wireshark. Then you're going to do another exploit you make, find it in Wireshark. After that, you're going to see the project is really, and you're following through on here, but keep going back to these because the numbers relate. The project really has 3 parts, and what's weird about it is these are already done PCAP files, which is a Wireshark file. They're already completed, so it's not like you're doing the hack or you're stopping someone from hacking. It's basically checking, do you know how to use Wireshark effectively, and how to search through these packets to find what the 3 exploits were and find which packets they happened in and what code was run. Because if you know what code was run, you'll have a better chance of fixing the problem. So let's go in here and real quick show you what you do at the beginning. So I'll give you a little taste here. So you're going to go admin, and then you're going to go password, which is terrible. Okay, so it has you do that first, and then after you log in and do admin and password, you're going to launch a Wireshark session. So I'm going to go in here and open up Wireshark, and I'm going to make sure I do, oh, this looks weirder than usual. Down here. We're going to do not port 3389, right? And hit enter, and it starts a Wireshark session. What you're going to see though is it oftentimes gets too much stuff going on. Like when you open it, it'll probably be full already because of all the stuff you were doing outside of here. So we're going to put a filter on in a second. You're going to put a filter on because it's on a website and we actually know what address we're going to do the hacks on. We can put a filter for our HTTP content type and our IP address. So this part will make sure it's only web page traffic, and this part will make sure it's just the IP address of the website Bank of Virgil. So if I go back here, see how it's already filling up? We're going to be overwhelmed. But if I put http.content type, there it is, content type, and then use and because you can put more than one filter on, ip.src, which means I want the source IP to be the web page. IP source equals, ooh, those aren't good, 172.30.0.13. So that's the IP address, and then it cleaned it up quite a bit. That's the IP address for Bank of Virgil. See right here, I didn't make that up. Then it says go in and turn your site security to low and submit and all that sort of stuff. Now what you should start to see is if I go back to my Wireshark, it's doing things. You know why? Because I'm doing things on that web page. So every time I click stuff, it's, it's recording. That's what Wireshark does. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to perform an Xss Stored Attack. And I'll do this one with you and let you do the other one. Actually, no, I want you to do this, and I'll do it separately, but really, I know you can run this, as long as you're careful typing it in, which, granted, I've made mistakes typing this in before. But I want to pause here. I'll let you do it. After you've done it, then join me back here, and I'm going to help you find it in Wireshark. Because that's hard, but once you get this down, it's called training for a reason. If you know how to find these hacks in Wireshark, you're going to be so much better at the 3 exploits. They're not even that hard if you're good at searching in Wireshark. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to run the hack on Xss Stored, which we haven't done before, and you're going to run the hack on Xss Stored. And we'll come back together. Alright, so hopefully you were able to do that in not too many tries and mistypes. But what was crazy about that is that didn't just run a script, it actually became part of the permanent page. When you did that on here, you could have typed whatever you wanted, but it basically made that part of the actual page. Now, here's the hard part, is we want to be able to find that in Wireshark. So, and this is like your training here. So there's Bank of Virgil, and that's something. You can click on other things. I come back to it, see how it's still there. It changed the page for good. So we're going to go into Wireshark and see if we can find this. I'm going to hit stop. Okay, and now it's like a capture file that you're going to get from before. It still has those filters on. If you took those filters off, I mean, look, this is packet 317. There's been a lot of stuff. If I didn't have these filters on, I would have to search through 317 packets. So something you want to do is shrink this down. And if you look at it, in number 8, because you're going to take a picture for 7 and stuff like that of the code that would have stopped your attack. And I think you know how to do that on the Bank of Virgil page by kind of doing the compare thing. But we want to make sure the packet details pane is larger. That's what I just made bigger. Then we're going to use the find feature, and it's important that you search packet details by picking the menu on the left side of the find bar. The first time I did this project, I thought I didn't know how to do something as simple as find. Because if you do Control F, and that's what I always do, there's find. But the problem is, first of all, I need to change it to string. That's an important thing to do, because string will actually look for the word you type. But you will get it wrong. It will find no packets unless you go over here and change this. Instead of packet list, that's like the stuff that's over here. If you don't change this to packet details, it won't actually look inside of the packets. So that is key. Change that to packet details, change that to string, leave your filters on, and now I can search for something that might help me. Now here's where you're going to get good. We'll see if you get good or not at being able to find stuff in packets. It's really about your search features. Because if I typed in name, I would not find a packet that had, I would find multiple packets that had name. You're like not specific enough. Maybe if I use the word guest book or something like that, or this is a test comment. But you know what? One word I know is probably only on this page is hacked. Now that's because I changed the page for good, but if I want to know for sure a packet's got that, I pick something I'm pretty sure no other packet in my capture would have on this website. So I'm going to put hacked exclamation point. Now it's not case sensitive, so it doesn't even matter if it was capitalized. When I hit find, see how it highlighted packet 196? Now yours would be different than mine because it all depends when you did it, but if you look at this, it highlighted that packet, and I bet if I search down, see how this is highlighted? Let's keep scrolling out. Name goat face, so I typed that one in, and there's my malicious script where I did document.write, you have been hacked. See how it found it? That's awesome. I do want to show you, if you forget to change that, watch this. I did packet list and I hit find. And see at the bottom, no packet contained that string in its info column. Well, yeah, that's because info is just this. You actually have to change it to details, and you change it to string, and then it finds it right away. You have to do a little scrolling and sometimes scrolling over, but there it is. Isn't that awesome? Cool. Okay, so you're going to do that all over again for a different hack. And remember, if you pick something really specific to that page, you have a way better chance of finding it when you do that find feature. So in here, they gave you a hint that in here, it would be best if you found out something very specific, like in the results, the net stat thing you ran worked. Because there's going to be some weird characters or a number, string. If you look for something weird and you search it, it'll have a way better chance of finding it. Because if you just looked up ping, it would not be good. That would be really bad. It would have a million times its pinging, and net stat happens sometimes. Here's another key thing. Make sure you go back to setup. Here, let's close this Wireshark down. Nope, quit without saving. So I go to setup here, and I reset database. Okay, there we go. Now we're back to home. Okay, now for the actual project, you go and get each one of these as its own little file. So I'm going to go in here, shrink it. Don't close that, because you're going to want that website for reference later. So you're going to go in activities and 234. See how it's P234? These are all capture files. Like if I open this one up, this is a huge file. Look at how many pieces are in it. It's got 344 packets in it. And I don't want to search through all of them. So you want to read carefully. Be like, okay, somebody, an unauthorized hacker, broke into our Bank of Virgil guest book web pages and used their script to show cookie data. Okay, so make sure, so we're not looking at all 344 pieces of thing. You put that filter on it again. And then look at the Bank of Virgil web page until you find a guest book web page, which I think we just looked at. And then you want to find one that contains a document cookie. So, you know, when you're doing this, make sure, well, you put that http.content type, and that filters it way down. So you're already looking at way less, right? There's chunks missing. And then you'd want to do your Control F and do your searches. Make sure you change this to string. Make sure you change this to packet details, and then search for something that would be on that guestbook page. It might help you to go find which one the guestbook page was. Was it this one? Was it this one? Was it this one? Was it this one? You know? And search for something that is only on this page probably. Because if you can find it, probably find the packet where the bad thing happened. Okay, so you go back to your Wireshark, you're like, what is on here that's probably not on any other page that I clicked to? You know, maybe this is a test comment or guest book or something like that, right? I don't know what happens if there's more than one, right? So you want to find, sometimes there's more than one that it finds, and you got to find the next one and the next one and the next one. So you want to get pretty specific, or you're going to be looking at a few, right? So you don't want to be, I don't know if guestbook would be specific enough. Like, yeah, here this says guestbook, but there's no hack in here, right? I don't see any hack about cookies. So I don't know, maybe cookies works. Something like that. No, because I think there's cookies that happen in, yeah, see, there are regular cookies, so that's not good enough. So you got to find something on that web page that really is specific enough to help you out. And you're going to do that for each one of the exploits. Make sure you read these. I'll put some more hints up on, I'll put it on our lesson plan thing here, some extra hints. But that should be good enough to go, and most of you will be able to take care of it. You know, you can, you know, help each other out if you're in class, work together, and, you know, overcome this stuff. Take your pictures, make sure you fill out your document completely and submit it on time. That would be awesome. All right, people. Well, I hope to see you soon. I'm trying to get my leg fixed, and I will talk to you later. Adios.